In order to give you an explanation of what's going on with the channel, I feel like we need to quickly cover two ideas: how YouTube's copyright system works and what fair use is. My explanation for both will come from the limited boundaries of my own experience. I am not a lawyer, just some dude who has had to try and figure all this out through trial and error. This will be somewhat rudimentary, but bear with me. After that, I can explain to you why, for now, the channel is probably done, and try and then cover some questions that I've been getting about it. YouTube has two systems for protecting copyrighted works from misuse, and they're commonly confused. The first is their, now notorious, Content ID system. This is an automated system that scans every frame of a video for matches to works owned by third parties and flags them. I used to get these during seasons 1 and 2 of the guide, but they stopped coming in at some point. I imagine because I contested and won all of them on the grounds of fair use, and there's something built into the Content ID system to turn them off, a shutoff. The second kind of copyright protection YouTube offers is allowing copyright owners to manually create a copyright flag against a video, and to optionally monetize that video for themselves or to block the video from being seen. So someone, I imagine in a cubicle farm somewhere for Paramount, Disney, or Fox, enters search terms into YouTube and flags anything they believe is in violation of their copyright. Since mid-season 2 of the guide, these are predominantly the only kinds of flags I receive, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 30 of them since the channel started. There is no shutoff for these kinds of flags. Now, YouTube's process for contesting flags, whether they come from Content ID or are entered manually, is the same. The flag comes in, you contest it, and the owner now has 30 days to reply. The owner denies it and reinstates the flag. You contest it, and the owner now has another 30 days to reply. They deny it, issue a takedown, and a strike is issued against your channel. Incidentally, if you have 3 strikes on your channel, at any time, the entire YouTube channel is taken down until you resolve the strikes. The final step is you submit a counter takedown. And here is the fun part. As I understand it, the copyright holder is then legally required to sue you in 10 days. If they don't, YouTube drops the strike and restores the video. So if a copyright holder takes the maximum amount of time, all in all, the copyright process can take 70 days. I've dealt with this 20 or 30 times on the channel and been at the sue me stage with Fox, I believe 5 or 6 times. But invariably, they always let the flags fall off, and I've always contested because I believe what I'm doing is fair use. So what is fair use? According to Stanford.edu, a fair use is any copying of copyrighted material done for a limited and transformative purpose, such as to comment on, criticize, or parody a copyrighted work. Such uses can be done without permission from the copyright holder. In other words, fair use is a defense against claims of copyright infringement. If your use qualifies as fair use, then it would not be considered an infringement. So this would be, according to copyright.gov, criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Now, it's important to note that there are no specific measurable criteria for what constitutes fair use. It is an idea, not a set of measurable results. Can you upload an entire episode of a show and protect yourself by saying, "I loved it" at the end? No, probably not. Adam from Your Movie Sucks has done 2 wonderful videos on fair use and copyright law that I will link to in the comments. Regardless, over the course of the channel's lifetime, I've probably defended it successfully against 20 to 30 flags because I always believed that what I was doing constituted criticism and commentary on Buffy. A quick episode summary to give the discussion context, and then a conversation about the aesthetics, philosophy, and morality of the episode itself. Again, I've never been able to know for certain because fair use is an idea rather than a set of numbers, but it seemed like a worthwhile pursuit. So here's what's going on now. As I said, over the course of the channel's life, I've received 20 to 30 flags. Since March 1st of this year, I've received 10, all in clusters of 3 or 4 at a time. Remember, if the channel gets 3 strikes, it gets taken down, and Fox has the ability during the appeals process to reject a dispute and create a strike on the channel, which means effectively I can only fight 2 copyright flags at once. And unlike Content ID flags, there is no limit to manually created flags. Fox has unlimited ability to flag content on my channel. This means that currently I have 4 sets of disputes I need to go through, 1 at a time, and since Fox can make the dispute process take 70 days, they can now keep any video I publish down for potentially 280 days, more the more I publish, without ever having to consider fair use. Effectively, they have taken down the channel without firing a shot. A week ago, I spent around 15 to 20 hours writing, recording, and editing my review of the episode Pangs. Fox took it down in less than 12, and it will now take more than 6 months to restore through YouTube's process. The net result of this is that, for now, the channel is finished. I can't justify 20 hours worth of work on a video to have it up for less than 12. Now let me run through some questions. I've spoken to YouTube reps on several occasions, and they're never anything but friendly and sympathetic regarding the issue, but have told me their hands are tied. They suggested I contact Fox. I did. On Thursday, May 11th, I sent them a message via Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and their own ticketing system, requesting a conversation about what was possible, a negotiation. I would even accept them monetizing the videos if I got to continue making them. They responded 2 days later by copyright flagging 3 more videos. None of the show's creators have any power over what happens to Buffy and Angel anymore, and many of my obstacles here revolve around being a guppy in a very big pond. There are issues far more major to the Buffy community than my little channel, and Joss still has yet to comment on those. The horrendous Buffy HD remaster, for instance. That's true. Facebook and vid.me do not have this problem. Yet. I worked at the Apple Store when I was younger, and we used to tell customers when they came in, Macs don't get viruses, which was true, but not for the reasons we wanted it to be. Macs didn't get viruses because they were something like 3% of the computer market and Windows was 96%. It wasn't because Macs were actually safer. YouTube has the lion's share of the personal streaming video traffic. I'm actually grateful to YouTube when it comes down to it. There are some video platforms that won't come near this type of content, Vimeo for instance, but I will think about this. These are solutions to getting around YouTube's Content ID system, the automatic system, not manual copyright flags. And again, I'm not looking to get around the problem. I want to be able to speak, and I want to do it legally and within the boundaries of the law. This has happened to me when the videos were monetized and when they weren't. Fox doesn't want any of it up. For the record, I have spent every dollar the channel has made and much of my own on Facebook and YouTube advertisements to grow the channel audience. Let me repeat that. I've lost a great deal of my own money on advertisements for a channel that has done nothing but create new fans of 2 of Fox's properties. Neither here nor there when it comes to fair use, but I needed to say that. They don't care. This really isn't about Buffy, it's about legal precedent. I'm paraphrasing a great comment that was left on the Facebook page, but Fox not reacting to my use of Buffy could be used against them in a case of legitimate abuse of their content. If a patent, trademark, or copyright holder is shown to not actively enforce their copyright, they risk losing it. If you're not a copyright lawyer, then I don't know if there's anything more you can do that I haven't already tried. In the early 2000s, Fox attacked many online Buffy fan sites and received a deluge of hate mail from fans, which they ignored. The Buffy HD remaster has created a ton of controversy in our community, which they have ignored. But maybe you'll have more ideas than I did. Look, it's important for you to know, I'm not giving up. I just don't yet know what comes next. I am reaching out to some people to see what my options are, but at the moment, it seems like whatever comes next, the videos are a long way off from coming back. At least 280 days off if they do at all. There's also the possibility that the conversation comes back in some other form, though I haven't figured out what form that might be yet. Video is my passion, my first love. For now, what I would say is keep doing what we've been doing together. Watch the show, share it, read Camus, read Sartre, read the book that was the entire inspiration for the channel to begin with, Mark Field's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Myth, Metaphor, and Morality. And even if I don't get to make more of these, I'm not done making content. This sort of thing is in my blood. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook if you want to keep abreast of new projects. I'll let you know.